Well, back out at it. Welcome back to my channel, and you probably saw me putting these screws in a few weeks back on the channel, and now I'm just about to put together one of the world's biggest jigsaw puzzles, and it consists of a whole load of floor joists to make a floor. Then we've got all these beautifully insulated wall panels from the factory. They'll form the walls. We've got a really nice eco joist roof system which we're going to be putting on as well, and we are going to duck the rain and try and get this done. But in the last few minutes the sun has just started coming out, and I cannot wait to get onto these floor joists now. I've been waiting for the last 24 hours for the rain to cease, and it has. So let's do it! So what we've done is broken some joists out and made a rod. Now this is quite a big timber structure, big timber frame, but I've simplified it as much as possible, making sure all the joists are exactly the same length. So we're just cutting one length of joist. I've got one of my small stops on the end of my template joist, and I'm just running the circular saw straight by it, and it's as easy as that. It's really quick. There's no double handing. If I had a chop saw, I'd have to lift it up, put it on the chop saw, mark it, cut it. It's just going to take too long. It's far more accurate. One circular saw, set up, stop on that piece of timber. If you haven't seen that other video I did about how to repeat cross cut with, joists, it's really quite simple. Now I've just got this laid out at the moment with some of my beams which are going to form the ends of the joist, if you like, and I've got a piece of bearer here, and I've marked it all up. So I've just transferred these marks everywhere, and that keeps it nice and accurate. And then what I have to do is I'll put one section in, okay, say a quarter, and I'll 3-4-5 it, and I'll get it nice and true, and I'll put a brace across it, and then using a string line I'll project it out, and just to make sure I'm sitting where I want to be on all of these screws, because the screws generally go in nice and plumb. They go in nice and level to the laser, but sometimes they'll go out of plumb. If they take the course and go past a root or something like that, they might just sometimes twist. So you can't really be measuring from the edge of the screws. You've got to take them as an average. So the key is getting the base nice and square, and it's a bit big to put all together and then try and square up. You'd be fighting against yourself because you'd be trying to knock it and you wouldn't want to move. So by doing a decent sized section, in my case roughly a quarter, then using a string line to project out to make sure that we're on the screws, I can pretty much rough it in exactly where I want to go. So we're going to get this in now, start attaching some of these, end fix them. We'll put hangers round afterwards. It's a really nice way of getting the joists nice and flat and flush and keeping it all true. We want to get over, here. That's it, mate. All right. .1. Moves out of the way. Yeah. That's it. Now we're just going to transfer the first mark, then we'll get the rod. Yeah. All right, that's it. Right, if I can have a couple of joists and a nail gun. Just put a hand to the end of that one, Andy, so it doesn't push. I don't push it off. Cool. Right, let's get this squared up. We're going to 3, 4, 5 it. Right there. Hold on to it, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just get a long one.
Medium size, this one, not the really long ones.
Yeah, this is the one. That's it. Now we can just check where we're going to be. You pop this. Yeah, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do the front line first with a string line, Andy. On the front side, I'm only approximating. Right, I want to bring it. Well, that works for me there. Coming out the tape on this bit here. That's it. It's super quick and super easy to cut all the joists exactly the same. I've only measured once. I've put a small bit of angle on the end of the timber. So when we stack the timber, we stacked it here, we cut it there, we've restacked it here. Now what we've got here is something I'm often talking about doing, is keeping all of your timbers nice and flat and true. So you know your timbers are going to be bowed, they're going to be cupped and all the rest of it. So by putting them together, so you've got all one end and the other end supported, looking down them, you can sort them out before you put them in the floor and spread it all out. And I think that's a really nice way of doing it, because if, say, you've got one with a fairly big crest or a fairly big bow, no amount of weight in the middle of a floor is going to ever get rid of that. So what you need to do is sort them, shuffle them around. It doesn't take very long and they become super flat then. And then it's just a matter of putting them in, fixing them, and you've got a lovely flat floor. So we're going to get the last bits fixed. What I'm going to do is fix this half, drop it in, and then bolt back through. If we did it the other way, we'd have to then skew nail through, or we'll get the hangers on first. But what I like to do is wrap my hanger around afterwards. Everything's end fixed. You've got the end fixing and the hammer fixing with the hangers, and it's brilliant. straighten it all up, check it for straight, and that's looking good. Oh, got going straight as an arrow there. Made our frame. This is a fully engineered frame, meaning I had it designed by a timber frame manufacturer. So it's very simple, you might say. It's just joists, it's just ring beams around the outside, but actually you really do need to know just about all the loadings that are going to come through it, etc. Also, when we're doing a garden room, we're fixing it to the screws. A lot of people have asked me, how do we do that? So we do it by a couple of different methods. So we've got some bracketry, which we bolt through the holes on the top, and then we can fix it into the timbers that run through the front and back. It's quite hard to see there. So we've got some bracketry, and also where we've got space, we can actually bolt up through the underside. The frame is now ready for all of our wall panels. We'll start them now. We've got everything in. We've got our board edge noggins all the way through. Much easier to do it at this stage than when you've got the walls in and you're trying to work down in the corner. It's really quick like that. Got our side beams in. We've even got a relieved trimmer for where the windows are going to go, because where we've got our bifold doors at the front here and then another big window, we want to have a level threshold. The only way of doing that is to accommodate the sill section and part of the frame. So when you've got we've got 22mm Egger Protect on here, and then about 11mm of floor finish. It's nice and seamless, so you're not going to trip over it when you come out onto the terrace. We've also got our weed membrane down underneath, and when we put our plastic plywood sides on, we will dig those into the ground. Then we'll take the slack, we'll fold it underneath, and we'll set our plastic plywood on top of that weed membrane as well there. And that's pretty much it. So the next job for us, now we've got this floor through and it's all perfectly square, nice and level, is to get our wall panels up, put our eco joist roof on, get it decked, get the eave or the perimeter of the roof all nicely detailed, and then get the roofer on it.